Hey there, in this video I'm going to show you how to use Notebook LM. I've been using this a lot, especially if I have to explain a topic that is newer to me or if I want to understand something a little bit deeper. So let me show you an example of one that I did today. So here are some of the different ones that I have. So to start, I click Create New Notebook. And then I add in, so I can add in Google Docs that I have, slides that I have, websites, YouTube videos, text, or upload things as well. I use YouTube mostly, so that's kind of what I'm going to be showing you today. So then the next thing I'm going to do is click Add, and then any YouTube videos. So usually what I'll do is look up YouTube videos about a specific topic that I want. So an example of this one is this Greta versus Lovable. So I'm trying to explain the difference between the two and also show how to use both of them. And so all the YouTube videos that I've watched on it, I copy and paste them here. So I clicked Add, YouTube, and then I put the link in here. And so it's pulling from the transcript in order to kind of do this. It makes a little summary here of all the sources, the transcripts. It reads through the transcripts and then creates this summary. And then if we look down here, here's the things that I wanted it to do. I said review all this information, create an SOP on Lovable, create an SOP on Greta, describe the process, describe similarities and differences, plus the pros and cons, and then write it like you're writing to a 6th grade reading level, but you're still speaking to an adult. So I really want it to be as simple and easy to understand as possible. And so I want to avoid using words like deploy or something like that unless it's explaining what it is. And so then here you can see where it breaks it all down. And if you look here, it pulls up the part of the transcript that it's kind of pulling from. So then what I do next is I read through all this. Any questions that I have, I ask. So for example, one of the ones that I wanted to talk to it about was in the differences section. So here it says code ownership. So I'm unsure about that. So I'm going to say under differences and code ownership. Does that mean you don't own code with Greta? And I'm like 99% sure the answer to that is no, that you still own the code, but because of how it wrote it, I was like, oh, wait a minute. And so this is really helpful for me too, because it helps me to clarify some of the questions that I might have, and then also anticipate some of the questions that my audience might have as well. And so this is the way that I treat this is kind of like a tutor. It kind of helps me go deeper into some of these so that even though I watch these, it helps me kind of refresh my memory on it, but also there's some things inevitably that I miss. I also find that a lot of these YouTube videos are talking at a much higher level, especially when we're talking about AI, automations, agents, apps, things like that. They're talking at a level that's not like your everyday person. And since I want to make it as easy to understand as possible, I want to not just take what I'm learning from here, but then figure out how to say it in a different way as well. And so anyway, I ask my questions here, and then I usually say, are there any other questions that you think my audience will have? And then at that point is when I add in my own sources. So I'll upload my documents, my audience document and my brand voice document. And I'm going to say, now review my audience and brand voice document and identify any additional questions my audience might have. Additionally, you talk about repo, but don't describe what that means. As a reminder, it should all be so easy to understand that a 6th grader could get it, but you're still talking to adults. The reason that I tell it that it's still talking to adults is because I find if I don't, it will give examples that a 6th grader might relate to, and that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for examples that an adult would understand, but just at a 6th grade reading level. So then how much time is it going to take? What are the exact first steps? Any specific AI tools and processes? So these are really great questions. And then I'm going to say, please answer the questions. And then I'm going to look through it myself. And then from there, I'll click video overview. So the video overview, it takes a little bit of time to create, but the video overview is going to help you kind of understand in a video format, basically. It just makes a video for you. I'll show you an example of what that looks like. All right, so this is what this looks like. It says GPT-5, the explainer. I press play on it, and it goes through like a video of it talking about what it is. You probably can't hear it right now because it's off, but it just kind of walks you through what it is. And it takes the information that we kind of went through together to create the the explainer. Okay, so then what I would do next is read through all of this, make sure there's no additional questions I have, make sure that it's clear. And because my main goal is to use this as a learning tool for me and to be able to go deeper and make sure there's nothing I'm missing and, you know, ask questions and those kind of things, I'm going to read through all of this. But just for the sake of time, I'm going to click video overview. I can also do reports with a briefing doc, study guide, FAQs, and mind map. You can do audio overview too, and that's almost like it's a podcast episode you're listening to. I prefer the video overview and the mind map personally, but I did all of these just so you can kind of see it. All right, so the video is still generating and will for a while, but the rest of the things are done. So I'm going to go ahead and take you through those. So first we have the mind map. And so this is what it looks like here. So I'm going to click on Greta AI first. Now it takes me through features and capabilities. So I can kind of see at a glance, all right, here's the features and capabilities. And then limitations. So now we have limitations here. It's slower, it struggles with complex prompts, inconsistent results, and so on. This makes sense because it's newer. All right, then we have pricing and credits and user experience, comparison, easier to use in Firebase, not as optimized as Lovable for file management. Okay, so pretty easy to kind of see, you know, at a glance the differences there. So now we look at Lovable. We can do the same thing, features and capabilities. We can see at a glance there's probably more features there. And then it breaks it down into, here's the benefits of no-code app building and the challenges, the key components. So we need a front end, which is like the UX, and then it takes you to this, you know, if it wants you to, if you want to go deeper, you can click on that and it'll go deeper. But let's just get a little bit closer here. So then if I want to go on to the back end part where it's like authentication, storage, I can click on that and it's going to, as you can see here, this one's discussing front end because I clicked on front end. But we can click on each of those to go deeper on that. And then workflow, all right, concise prompts, iterative, test frequently, and so on. So it's really helpful to kind of break everything down with that. So that is the mind map. Now let's go back to Studio. And if I click on No Code App Builders, this would be, I think it's just the report. So what are they? Why are they helpful? Why do people like them? This one is the briefing doc. So this just kind of goes over the key details. And then here we have the study guide. Again, super helpful if you're looking to kind of understand this at a deeper level. I really like that it has the glossary. That's probably my favorite part of the study guide. All right, so it's ready. I'm going to click here, and in just a second, it's going to load up, and you should be able to hear it.
Ever had one of those brilliant app ideas? You know.
Okay, now before we go on, I just want to point out there will probably be some things you want to change, like this random blocks. So I would want to change that. Okay, so it's going to go on. This one is just talking about my audience. So this one is kind of going over what AI builders are, how to use them, that kind of thing. And so it goes through all of it. I would certainly watch it before doing anything with it. And then for me personally too, if I wanted to take it that next step further, I would download it, get the transcript out, and then put it into HeyGen and have my avatar saying it. So there's a few things you can do to customize it even more, but this is a great start. And if you're just using it to learn for yourself, then you don't really need to do anything else beyond that. This has been Brittany Long. I'm the creator of AI 200K and the AI U+ cloning method. I'll talk to you soon.